There's a buzz in LA that feels more electric than the neon lights of downtown on game night, and it all starts right here. Lakers News Fan Report. Before we dive into the rumor mill swirling around one of the most intriguing shooters in the league, do yourself a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single development in this high-stakes chase for championship glory. All right, now that we've got the hype going, let's talk about the latest blockbuster speculation sending shockwaves through both sides of California. Word on the street, and by street, I mean every Lakers group chat, sports podcast, and insider whisper, is that Cam Johnson, the sharpshooting wing from the Phoenix Suns, is right in the crosshairs of a fierce tug-of-war between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Imagine it. Johnson's silky jumper and catch-and-shoot prowess joining forces with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, forming a deadly perimeter threat that defenses would have nightmares adjusting to. Could it be? Fans are already picturing Johnson stepping onto the court in purple and gold, raining threes from the corner and pulling defenders away to open up lanes for the King and AD. There's no official offer on the table, at least not yet. But sources close to both front offices say the Lakers brass has been quietly circulating proposals that lump young role players and draft picks in exchange for the 29-year-old veteran. Some insiders believe Los Angeles is willing to part with a package centered around a combination of D'Angelo Russell, picks in the mid-first round, and a promising two-way contract player to sweeten the deal. It's a calculated gamble. Adding Cam's shooting would instantly transform the Lakers into one of the deepest three-point threats in the league, potentially forcing opposing defenses to spread thin and creating driving lanes for their superstar duo. On the flip side, we can't ignore Golden State's move. The Warriors, fresh off their own splashy acquisition of Jimmy Butler, aren't about to roll over in a bidding war. They've reportedly dangled a mix of young draft picks and role-player contracts to tempt Phoenix, banking on their championship pedigree and storied culture to reel Johnson in. Why? Because pairing Steph Curry's gravity and playmaking with Cam's spot-up excellence would keep the Splash Brothers dynamic alive, while also shoring up perimeter defense, one of the few lingering questions on the Warriors' roster last season. But here's where it gets juicy. Lakers fans are whispering that the real wild card isn't just the assets being offered, but the narrative. The Suns, who lost in heartbreaking fashion last playoffs, might see Johnson as the perfect bridge piece between talent and veteran leadership. And yet, loyalty runs deep in Phoenix. Will they be persuaded by the promise of championship window, extension with two franchises to choose from? Or will they hold out for a bigger haul from a team willing to mortgage more draft capital down the road? Speculation is running rampant. Is the Lakers' front office banking on the allure of playing alongside LeBron James for what could be his final title quest? You can almost hear the pitch meeting. Cam, picture yourself launching open threes in Staples Center, backed by 20,000 screaming fans, knowing that every shot you drain could tilt the balance of a close playoff series in our favor. Could this be the kind of emotional pull that sways an all-star away from the Bay? Some believe that positioning LeBron as the central figure in the recruitment effort is precisely the Lakers' secret weapon. On the court, Cam's numbers speak volumes. Over 38% from three-point range last season, a career mark hovering around 38.5%, and defensive versatility that allows him to guard multiple positions. In a Lakers offense that leaned heavily on isolation and high pick-and-roll last year, adding a dead-eye shooter would offer Coach Redick the luxury of dialing up more motion and spacing sets, driving tempo, and keeping opponents honest. Imagine transition threes coming from Johnson as LeBron pushes the break, instant momentum swings and crowd eruptions that could define the Lakers' second-half resurgence. But Warriors fans aren't sleeping on this. They're pointing to Golden State's culture of winning, Steph Curry's handshake partnerships, and the promise of contending alongside one of the greatest shooters ever. Stay in the Bay, the narrative goes, and write your own chapter in a dynasty that's only getting started. It's a tantalizing pitch, especially for a player entering his prime years who might value an established winning environment. Yet Lakers faithful are dreaming bigger. What if Cam becomes the X factor who finally gives Los Angeles the edge it needs to wrestle the Western Conference crown back from the Warriors? What if his clutch shooting in Game 7 situations becomes the missing piece that elevates the Lakers from contenders to champions? The speculation alone is enough to have every fan on the edge of their seat, refreshing trade deadline trackers and insider feeds late into the night. Across social media, you can already spot the debate threads. Would you trade Russell and a first-rounder for Johnson? Does Cam's fit outweigh the cost of losing draft assets? Is chemistry with LeBron worth more than draft capital? These questions aren't just hypotheticals. They're the real conversations shaping front office decisions. And as March 1st approaches, every rumor intensifies, every insider tweet gets dissected, and every fan becomes an armchair GM, plotting the perfect lineup combinations in their head. But let's take a step back. Is it possible that this entire saga is just leverage? Could Phoenix be using this California rivalry to drive up market demand for their swing man? Some insiders whisper that the Suns are playing both sides, waiting to see who blinks first before pulling the trigger. If that's the case, Lakers executives might be readying a bold, all-in offer designed to force Phoenix's hand, knowing full well that stalling too long could see Cam slip into Golden State's hands, a crushing blow to LA's championship aspirations. Meanwhile, casual fans tuning in might be asking, what does Cam Johnson's preferred landing spot say about his career goals? Is he chasing a title window, or does he prioritize max contract aspirations? Could his decision signal a shift in free agency strategy for other role players looking to position themselves between two of the league's marquee franchises? The ripple effects of this rumor stretch far beyond a single transaction. And as we roll into the second half of the season, one thing is certain. The Lakers-Warriors trade duel over Cam Johnson is more than a chess match. It's a high-stakes drama that could define the next decade of basketball in California. Every proposal, every counteroffer, every leak to the press serves as its own mini cliffhanger. Fans are asking, will the Lakers outmaneuver their Bay Area rivals with a blockbuster midseason move? Or will Golden State leverage its veteran core and winning pedigree to snatch Johnson away at the last second? So here's the burning question for you. With LeBron James potentially needing another sharpshooter to maintain his championship pace, and with the Warriors eager to keep their dynasty's momentum, which side has the upper hand in this trade war? Is Los Angeles offering the right package to finally bring a shooter of Cam's caliber to the purple and gold? Or will the allure of the splash, the mantra of strength in numbers, tip the scales in Golden State's favor? Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you convinced that Cam Johnson will suit up at Crypto.com Arena before hitting Oracle? Or do you believe he'll don the royal blue and gold of the Warriors instead? I can't wait to read your takes and watch this drama unfold together. Because one thing's for sure, whichever way this goes, it's going to be must-watch TV for every NBA fan across the globe. As the trade chatter heats up, let's dive into what life could look like on the hardwood if Cam Johnson does indeed don the purple and gold, and, alternatively, what could happen if the Warriors pull off the upset, and why both outcomes carry massive ripple effects for our Lakers title hopes. First, imagine Cam slotted into the Lakers rotation. Picture the starting lineup. Russell orchestrating the offense, LeBron leading the break, Anthony Davis patrolling the paint, Rui Hachimura's versatile finishing, and Cam Johnson stationed in that corner, ready to let it fly. That alignment would force defenses to respect every angle, drive and kick threes would become an automatic weapon, pick-and-pop actions with AD would become lethal, and LeBron's ability to collapse the defense before dishing to Cam for open triples could redefine heat check. Coach Redick would suddenly have an embarrassment of riches. able to stagger minutes, dial up small ball units, or unleash a lethal second unit anchored by Cam's shooting and Snell's defense. But it's not just about spacing. Cam's defensive growth cannot be overlooked. He's earned praise for his on-ball pressure, switching versatility, and ability to contest without fouling. In a conference where perimeter scoring is king, having a two-way wing who can guard elite scorers like Paul George, Devin Booker, or Kyrie Irving could be a game-changer. Imagine late-game scenarios where Cam draws the assignment on the opposing team's best wing, allowing LeBron and AD to conserve energy for key possessions. That kind of matchup flexibility is exactly what championship-caliber teams covet, and what the Lakers have desperately needed. Now, let's consider the flip side. If the Warriors outmaneuver LA and land Cam instead, Golden State would instantly bolster their rotational shooting behind Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, creating a three-headed monster so potent that even the tightest defense would struggle to keep up. For the Lakers, losing out on Johnson could sting, not just because of the on-court loss, but because it might signal a lack of aggression in trade negotiations, or the misjudgment of how precious draft capital and role players should be leveraged at the deadline. And that brings us to the ultimate trade deadline question. Is now the right time to mortgage the future? Lakers loyalists have long debated whether it's better to hold on to first-round picks in hopes of drafting the next star, or to swing hard for a veteran who can contribute immediately. Trading away a first-rounder or two for Cam could tip the scales toward a win-now mentality, declaring that this championship window, powered by LeBron's experience and Luka's unprecedented talent, is worth sacrificing some long-term assets. For a franchise chasing its 18th banner, that's a compelling argument. But if the bid fails, LA risks ending up with depleted draft assets and an unfulfilled promise. Behind the scenes, you can bet the Lakers' front office is weighing every variable: how Cam's contract impacts their salary cap, how his presence affects future free agent recruitment, and how blockbuster trades shape the team culture. Meanwhile, Warriors executives are reminding Johnson of the strength in numbers mantra, the Oracle legacy, and the opportunity to chase titles alongside Curry. Both pitches have emotional hooks, and neither side can guarantee a championship. In locker rooms across the league, players are talking. Some Lakers veterans reportedly view Cam as a missing piece, someone who can inject confidence and unlock underutilized playmaking wizardry from the duo. Others worry that integrating another high-usage shooter might muddle the offensive roles and chemistry. It's a delicate balance. Too many cooks in the kitchen can spoil the broth, but the right addition at the right time can turn a good team into an all-time great squad. Then there's the intangible yet potent factor of momentum. If the Lakers can announce the signing of a sharpshooter like Johnson right before entering the playoffs, it could send a psychological message. We're not just contenders, we're threats. In the postseason, confidence can be the difference between a first-round exit and a finals appearance. But if they miss on this, the narrative could flip. LA choked at the deadline, while Golden State got even stronger. That storyline alone would fuel sports talk shows, social media debates, and add weight to the rivalry that already defines California basketball. As for the timeline, insider whispers suggest a flurry of phone calls happening now with both sides, aiming to finalize something before the March 1st deadline. If Cam wants clarity on his future, he may push for a resolution soon, keeping both the Lakers and Warriors on tenterhooks. Some believe Phoenix will wait until both offers are on the table, while others think they'll pick the guaranteed package that best aligns with Cam's personal and professional goals. And what about the fans? Lakers faithful are already dreaming of title parades, convinced that Cam's arrival could be the X factor that carries this team past the conference finals and into the NBA Finals. Social feeds are flooded with animated lineup graphics, highlight reel edits, and countdowns to the trade deadline. Conversely, some are sounding cautious notes, reminding everyone that dreams can turn into nightmares if the price paid is too high. They argue that draft assets are the lifeblood of sustainable success, and that giving them up for a rental can backfire if LeBron or Luka suffer untimely injuries. Now, let's be honest. This rumor has it all: superstar intrigue, a cross state, rivalry, championship stakes, and fan passion. It's the perfect storm for a blockbuster trade narrative. Whether Cam Johnson ends up walking into Crypto.com arena wearing number 23, or sliding into the Chase Center tunnel as a warrior, this saga will be remembered as one of the most compelling storylines of the season. But what do you think? Are you on board with going all in for Cam Johnson, even if it costs significant draft capital? Or would you rather hold on to those picks and stand pat, trusting our current roster to develop chemistry down the stretch? Personally, I'm leaning toward pulling the trigger. I'd sacrifice a mid-first rounder for a proven 3-and-D wing who can complement LeBron and Luka flawlessly. It's a risk, but sometimes the highest rewards demand the boldest moves. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know which side you're on in this Lakers vs. Warriors trade war over Cam Johnson, and why. Your take might just shape the conversation leading up to the biggest deadline in recent memory. If you've enjoyed breaking down this blockbuster speculation, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on all things Lakers. Together, we'll watch every twist and turn in this epic West Coast rivalry, and we'll be right here to bring you the inside scoop as it unfolds.